One, two, three. Are we good? We are good. Hello, welcome again to this fantastic session on emerging filmmakers. You see that these are young folks, and this is beautiful because these are the filmmakers that kind of the next step after the high. In the morning we had the high school kids, no, in Village Reels program, and now we have that these young people here who have gone through college or are about to leave college. They're going to talk about that too, and they are pretty much focused on what they want to do. They have found their voice. They are doing documentaries, and this is fantastic. I will present these fantastic young people to you before this starts. On my left, we have the director of the Pipe Band, the first film we saw. Beautiful film. Very well done. Then is Ethan here. This is actually my former student from American University. And he is the director of Kill and the Kids, the film about gun violence, and that is center. And then we have George here. That is the last film about the dual citizens. And for the whole production of the Montgomery County rap music, I tell you who you know him. He is on camera. That is, let me just get that straight. This is Julian. Yep. Julian is the person who interviews in the film. Very nice stylistic approach to interview the people on the scene. Very, very well done. The director is next to me. This is Tiger. This is the director of the film. Next to her is Ashley, and then we have Momo. So they have all different roles in that film. Here, I think let's start with one question first to the directors, and then I come to you, how you got into that team, how you found each other, because you did a very great job working together. And yes, so the directors first. Ben, talk to us about what was the motivation to do this film?
So the motivation for the Bagpipe project in particular stemmed from GT over there. So he has a relative who's a part of the band, and I just had like an amazing opportunity to just meet them, and we had a whole bunch of projects within our like class for college, and one of the biggest things was just niche projects are just the thing for me. Like stuff that a lot of people don't know enough about, and more importantly, things that I don't know enough about. And yeah, bagpipes were part of that.
Yeah, you have to understand that he is, are you still at Stevenson University? He is a professor. GT, board of directors, is also professor at Stevenson University. So tell us where you are there.
Yeah, so I just graduated in December, and currently I'm doing freelancing full time, and on the side just trying to get into substitute teaching a little bit.
Look, so these are young folks. They are trying to make their first steps into the industry. This is fantastic. They have a card to play. They have a beautiful film, and that is the most important thing in our industry. You have to show things. No? If you apply for a job as an editor, as a director, you have to show things, and you have to show that you have a video, and all these videos have a very high production value. This is beautiful. Ethan, next in line, talk a little bit about the motivation for the film. It's a very difficult topic, and I think you did a very wonderful job to bring this across.
Thank you. Yeah, again, I'm Ethan Baker, director and editor of Kill and the Kids. Recent grad from American University Film and Media Arts program, so shout out to them and Adele. I think this project is unique in that whereas some of these documentaries can take, years at a time from start to finish to put together. I did this in less than a semester. I did it as part of a directing the documentary course last year, in which different nonprofits from the DC area came to class and they pitched themselves and their missions to us, and then we had the opportunity to choose who we wanted to work with. So I was really drawn to Horton's Kids as an organization, just the difference that they're making in the community overall with the work that they're doing in these programs and getting these kids off the street, so to speak, and getting them into these programs where they're learning like podcast production, music production, visual art. And then just not only that, but the mentorship and the advocacy aspect of it was really resonated with me, particularly with Kale and with Taeyeon, looking at the story of a kid that has experienced this very traumatic thing of being robbed at gunpoint, and how does someone that young, deal with that? Even for us adults, it's something that very hard for me to really understand and grow and heal from. So I think the work that they're doing in the community with this youth mentorship is really valuable in that aspect.
Thank you. And here we have George. George is the director of Dual Citizens.
Thank you, Adele. So when working on that film, it was my senior capstone project at Stevenson. I was there at the same time as Ben, and I had an opportunity to tell a very personal story about my family, my culture, where we come from, and how that shapes the way we see ourselves. And so I spoke to the 3 subjects in the film because I knew them all personally, and they all lived around the same area. So we shot the interviews in the winter of 2023. I continued editing throughout the end of the year and going into spring of 24. And I had it ready for graduation in May. And so I'm very happy with the way it came out. And it gave me the opportunity to shed light on essentially a culture within a culture that's already pretty underrepresented as a whole. So I'm glad that I've been able to share this film with so many different people across the country, and that everywhere we go, people tend to laugh at the same moments, people tend to smile at the same moments. And I always run into people who have a similar sort of like immigrant experience or first-gen experience, whether that's for Asian communities, for Black communities, Latino communities. It all just ties in that same kind of universal American experience.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, you have like you have okay. You have all perfect.
Is
Tiger.
Yes, this one is on. So, and y'all, please feel free to interject if I leave out any details. But we actually all met through Montgomery Community Media's Digital Futures Institute Fellowship of 2025. I remember actually like our groups were partially assigned, and the 3 of you had been selected as a group. And as soon as I heard who was in that group, I was like, that one, I want to be in that one. Put me in with them. I want to be with them. So I'm really, really, really happy about that because we got incredible, talented journalists. Julian is like an amazing editor, like literally like one of the best editors I think I know. So I was like, please put me with them. Like, I want to do my project with them. And we got really lucky in the sense that all of our ideas that we had all kind of blended and like worked really, really well, where I knew I wanted to do something about like DIY spaces, third spaces. Ashley already knew Chapello and had already done like press with him before. And then obviously Julian knows his dad, and his dad is an incredible artist. So like a bunch of my friends are also in the rap group Fourth and Oak, and I already was kind of like clued in on the open mics and stuff. So we were like, what if we marry our concepts and then we make a whole little thing that ended up actually being like really, I feel like reflective of our community. Like your dad is there. It's like our friends. It's really cool. So if y'all have anything else to add, because you have a microphone.
Yes.
No, I feel like Tiger killed it. I mean, Yeah, we really wanted to make something that really meant something to the community. And there's so much good music that's made in the community, but like you guys saw in the documentary, if you ask anybody, they're like, Logic? Like, and Logic's like the only one anyone knows. So, we felt it was really important to show what different people are doing and the different kinds of hip hop, because hip hop's its own thing of music, and then even within the music, it has different subgenres on what people are trying to say. So, felt like we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, very, very well. Momo, you come across as a researcher here. No, I wanted to ask about the access here, the access, the selection of the. How did you find these musicians? I mean, we are in Montgomery County. I think most of us weren't aware that there is a hip hop culture, and it's a very vibrant culture. So, you got the title as a researcher, and what else was on the researcher? And
Well, I'm assistant production AP. I was kind of like more or less had like the same roles as everybody else, but yeah, researcher. I mean, Tiger already kind of said it the best. I mean, we already kind of had like a collective understanding about who to seek. A lot of the times there are rappers, right, that you kind of already see on like YouTube, and they kind of have like a mixed message that isn't necessarily something that that could have been that should or shouldn't be used. So yeah, the research ended up eventually making sense because of what's going on today and things of that nature. So
yeah, thank you.
I think was it, I don't know if it was Julian, I don't know who it was that found the National Hip Hop Museum, because we didn't know it was like a thing until we started this project, which is pretty cool. We didn't know about the hip hop shop or anything too, so luckily through finding out about that resource, we were able to then get in contact with the people and then also set up an interview with the CEO of the Hip Hop Museum at the Hip Hop Shop, which is in Rockville. It's like their official merch shop while they're trying to figure out a storefront.
I have to go there. I live in Rockville, and I'm not aware of it. Interesting. Ashley, you haven't said much. So you are the cinematographer here.
Yes, I am.
Talk a little bit about this, because this was a lot of filming. What was the experience as a photographer? And then I come to that section, and then we open it up for questions.
Yeah, so really my back.
Speak into it. Just, is the direction a microphone? You have to just like speak into it like this.
My background really comes in still photography, and so going into this fellowship, I was completely thrown just blank into the field of doing video, and so I quickly had to learn how to do that and how to be able to bring the story to life through video. But it was a really fun process, and being able to learn hands-on and at a fast pace was really fun for me.
Yeah, and I think when you come from photography, from still photography, which is a very nice place to be before you go into video, you know about composition.
Yeah, we do.
And you know about screen direction and all these film languages aspects we have to really have in mind when we are filming, and you have it. And I think you brought that in, and for that reason, I think it comes across very visually very attractive. Now you have a very fresh approach also with talking to these people on the street. This is fantastic. Like, I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. Very fresh approach. Now, before I go to the questions here, it's interesting when we do the selection for this festival here. The films weren't selected because they were emerging filmmakers. They were selected because they were good. And then we realized these films, they're all about music, and they are all emerging. And that was kind of a coincidence. No? We have actually a program that is emerging filmmakers. And the music segment, I am a music producer. My films are about progressive rock, and I like that very much. So that people focus on different music styles and bring that across, and show what is going on in this county, right? let's go back to Ben. So when you had the options to choose a topic, were you attracted by it because it's music? I mean, I also saw another video from you that has nothing to do with music. It's like, how do you call this? Paint
It was a,
shooting?
paintball.
Paint-
Paintball documentary, yeah.
Paintball,
So for me,
which had great music, by the
yeah,
way, too.
thank you. So for me, the main attraction of this project was just knowing that, like, who thinks of bagpipes? You know, like it's just such like a unique thing, and you only ever see that during parades. Like, and it was the opportunity to know that it's not the weather for the parade activity, like when I chose it. So it was like, what do they do in the meantime? Do they practice year round? I just had immediately when I heard that opportunity, it was just so many questions, and I just knew right there. I was like, yeah, that's it. So that was it.
That's great. Beautifully shot. You are
Thank you.
a cinematographer, too. Right?
Yeah. So my DP was somebody else, but I did some of the cinematography for a lot of like the field shots and things of like the sun behind them and everything. But yeah, weather was a big factor that we got lucky with.
Perfect. Two more here, and then I open it up to the audience. Ethan. So he is my former student at American University, and when I knew him, he is actually a classical piano. He is a master. His film is about gun violence. At the end, there is the titles. Ethan, I realized, fantastic music choice. So you are also drawn to art. The center, they teach art. The kids talk a little bit about this. You were maybe also attracted because of that, because art can help young people to overcome challenges or avoid these other attractions that are out there.
Exactly, yeah. That was a big push to making this documentary was
Speak into it.
the art aspect of this. The whole program in a sense is centered around art, in a sense, specifically the media lab that Kale runs. Like I was saying earlier, these kids have really invaluable opportunities to learn these skills that they can then, turn into a full-blown career if they want to, like getting into the music production side, or they have their own several different podcasts that they run out of that media lab. They have community outings like you saw where they go in the community and they do, all kinds of art projects and things like that. So it's very much ingrained into the culture of Anacostia and also just the organization specifically of Horton's Kids. And like you were saying with the end credit music, that was actually a song that was made by one of Kale's former students there at Horton's Kids. So it really shows the impact of the art in the community. And then of course with Taeyeon, there's kind of a subplot that's not as directly shown, but I was initially the story was just going to be about the podcast program as a whole and his growth as I followed him throughout the program. But, when I first met him, he had never really been on a podcast before as a host. And Kale had told me that he just asked Taeyeon just out of the blue one day to fill in for someone that was not there to be on the podcast. So he kind of reluctantly did it. And then fast forward to the end, he has an integral part in the program, and he's very much a leader in that aspect. So, yeah.
Perfect. Next film, maybe you include the music inside the film.
Right.
Want to say something?
Oh, the music inside the film.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't actually compose any of that music, sadly. I wanted to, but I ran out of time. Like I said, I only had the semester to do it. But yeah, I wanted to I was really selective in that process of picking music tracks that really matched the vibe, and matched the emotional arc at that particular time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I sadly didn't make the music.
Yes,
yeah.
no, but I know you can.
Yeah.
George. You also focus on 3 artists from Nicaragua. You could have focused on 3 entrepreneurs or 3 other people, but you choose artists. Why?
Well, as a Nicaraguan American artist myself, I definitely want to show that there's a lot more range to the community than people think. And by coincidence, like almost a solid third of the people in my age range I know in the community just also do art. And so I thought it'd be a good showcase for them as well in their work. So for Ennis, I've known him like for most of my life. I knew that he did printmaking and photography, so that was a good chance for him. But for Gary and Bree, I knew that they had also never worked together before. We've all known each other for years, but they never had a chance for him to make a song with her. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to get that on film as well. And for Bree herself, I also just wanted a chance for her to get her music out there, for her lyrics, her songwriting. And then for Gary as well, just make sure they all have that chance. And so I'm very happy that they managed to get that song together. And almost all the background music you hear throughout the film is Gary's beats. And so I wanted to put that in the credits as well, make sure he got that shout out. And I'm very happy that it came out the way it did.
Perfect. Now, we open it up to the audience. Maybe we can have help here with running that microphone. So make sure you speak into the microphone and hold it right in front of your mouth. Here we go. Yes. First one. It's on. It's on. It's on. Leave it on. Don't turn it off. Yeah.
I was just checking. Sometimes you're not. Ben, quick question. I know the pipe and drum members mentioned they haven't recovered from COVID, but are there other reasons why people aren't joining pipe and drum bands? Is the interest waning, or younger generations not into it, or something else?
Yeah, Tiger. And there's that microphone goes over there.
Yeah, so great question. Thank you. One of the biggest things they mentioned to me when doing research was that it's just so competitive in the Baltimore, like Towson, DC area. There's just like a lot of bands, and then a lot of young people, they're going away from like the bands to go into college, or they lose interest through college, things of that manner. So a lot of the members are just like older, and they're trying to appeal to younger generations, but right now it's just not where it's at.
Ethan, how is Horton's Kids, it's in Anacostia, right?
Correct.
And how is it funded? And sorry if I missed that.
They're funded, I think, primarily through just external donors. Because I was at an event last year that was it's a private screening for donors to Horton's Kids. But yeah, I think it's just funded in that way. I'm not really sure of the specifics exactly.
Okay. And then finally, I'm sorry, I forget your name. Yeah.
Julian.
Was it difficult, intimidating, or nervous interviewing your father?
It wasn't like intimidating. I was really curious because I talk to my dad like all the time. We've lived in the same house for like forever. So, but it was really interesting to actually like sit down with him and ask him a lot more questions about his past and music making process. Because I walk around the house. He's in the basement. He's playing music. I go to his concerts. But to actually dig deeper and learn more and more about that was really interesting because I haven't heard it all in one sitting. Normally, you just get random tidbits here and there, and you go, oh, cool. But now I have it all on film. So, yeah.
More questions?
Okay, Ben, your visual language was so compelling. It made sense when you said your background was in cinematography. At the same time, because I do some film stuff too, kind of figuring out what your visual language is going to be, how you're going to open, how you're going to compel people is really difficult. And you did it in such an elegant way. It was so well timed. I'm fascinated. What was your process, and what equipment did you use? I mean, the shots were gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you first off. So for the process, trying to like think about it, I think it really started from just like doing research into like how bagpipes sound, and then more or less like what is it about bagpipes that fascinate me? And that was just they're very, very just like, they're just legendary. You know, it's like you hear them in these movies and they're very like ancient sounding. They have a certain sound to them. And then it boiled down to what could represent that. And it just immediately in my mind, it came to deep sun shots with deep silhouettes, you know, these epic visuals that I can get on the instruments, the uniforms. It was very important to get shots of the uniforms and the instruments because that's just like what makes the band. And then from there, it was like I had told the crew and like asked them to edit the video to a point where it would have to be 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes. And then from there, if we felt like we needed a little bit more, we extended it out a little bit more. And yeah, so all the shots really fit within that. Like what were the most important shots to fit within that 5 limit parameter?
Well, see, there was also an intimacy, and what I like about the opening, it was almost like an action movie, right? Kind of that language, the preparation, the close shots, then the far back shots, and I mean, it was a real intensity to that was amazing. So, I've got some other questions to ask other people, but I got to talk to you a little bit more afterwards.
Yeah, we have chance to talk to the directors after the session. I think another question you have.
Quickly.
Yes.
Ethan, I was trying to Shazam the song at the end because it's really, really good. Is it available someplace? And are you still connected to the organization?
First of all, yeah, as far as that track at the end, I believe it's only up on YouTube at the moment. I think it was taken down from other streaming platforms, but I can definitely get that to you if you want that. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that guy personally. I never met him personally, but I located him online. I reached out to him to get permissions for that song. But
oh wow, so he was not part of the organization that was producing out of the space that you shot? You had to find him afterwards?
Right. Well, I believe he was a past member that was involved in the organization, but yeah, never directly met him or anything. Yeah.
Okay, one more quick question for you. I talk to them all the time, so I'm not asking them questions.
Thanks.
And then I'll pass the mic around. When I was watching your piece and you kind of live between these two cultures, what a fascinating investigation, right? Like especially people of color, right? Because people just throw us in this basket and think the experience is always harmonious, right? And I mean, I know coming from Boston, our family desegregated the neighborhood, and then there was Black Boston and there was White Boston, and we were in both of them. And we lived inside that dichotomy. I would love to see even a deeper investigation, and kind of the music ties it all together, but what was the spark of that idea to say, this is the story I'm going to tell?
Okay, so the short version is that I had to do a project for this leadership program in college, and I had to do something that was a demonstration of leadership. And so initially it began as, okay, I'm going to do something about my culture, my family, my heritage. And so the thought was an Afro-Latino film festival, something similar to that. Or it was a showcase for artists in the area that I knew, like Bree, like Gary, like Enes. But it grew too ambitious, and it seemed like a lot to try and pull off a single semester. So one of my classmates suggested, okay, you're trying to do this Afro-Latino thing, and you're also trying to do a documentary. Why don't you just combine them together? And so I thought, oh, I can do that. And so it gave me an opportunity to reach back out to Gary and Bree and Enes, because I had spoken to them before informally as like about their experiences, but I had never, like your son, I had never sat down and just talked to them about their lives and their full backstory on camera, because I'm like the baby of the family. So I've never talked to them as adults before. And so they could really see me, I could really see them for the first time. So I'm grateful that I got the chance to do this and to highlight that sort of like that one line that Enes says, where it's like, I knew other Nicaraguans, but they weren't like me. Or when Bree says no one else is from this country, essentially, like that was our lived experience for about 20 years. And so I'm glad that that's starting to clear up now in the last couple of years now.
Yeah, and maybe it will.
Yes, so we'll.
Maybe it will. And we have one. I think we can have one more question. Michael, yes.
Oh, hello, Adele. She called me out.
Michael Anthony is one of our beloved teaching artists.
Yes, and actually, starting next week is the Intro to Documentary Production course that I'll be teaching.
Next week is the intro to documentary
Yes.
production
So,
class.
I mean, shameless plug though. But great films, guys. Wonderful products. One thing is, because I won't be able to stay after because I have to go pick up my daughter from rehearsal. But anyways, one thing I wanted to know is like, how can people get in contact with you guys, for future work, especially since you guys are promoting artists, right? And then, of course, with your films to be able to, I was looking at the end to see like how we can get in contact with you. I don't know, maybe Adele, if I can get in contact with you, if she can share your information. But from a documentary standpoint, usually documentaries are either trying to uncover something, expose something, or create impact about something. So what part of that was your films trying to do? Was it trying to bring light to something? Was it trying to expose something? Or was it trying to create impact about something?
Very well. So each director can now talk and make it short.
All right, simply put, from my documentary, they're struggling with membership. It's a way to get their voice out there more.
I say it's a combination for me of to bring light to and impact, and kind of all three in a sense, because I feel like the gun violence and also more than that, the experience of what it looks like to be a youth mentor is a topic that's unexplored in a documentary. So that was really important for me. In terms of how you can find me, my website, my portfolio site's ethanbakermedia.com. I'm also very active on LinkedIn, Ethan Baker. So, and now really quickly, I realized I didn't answer the second part of the last question that you asked. And I am still directly involved with Horton's Kids. I'm actually going to be there next Thursday to be a guest on the podcast. So it's kind of a full circle moment. And I want to keep working with them, being active in that community, helping out, being a mentor, and whatever way I can be.
Thank you, Ethan.
All right. So for me, definitely bringing a light to the artists, to the community, just to the potential that we have in this space. So that was the whole point, and we accomplished that.
Here you go. Comes from every side.
I feel like it was definitely to shed a light on the fact that there is indeed a hip hop scene that is making all different kinds of things in Montgomery County, as well as to almost like kind of like combat the narrative that there's nothing in Moco, because we were like, how is there nothing in Moco and we all know people.
Also, to get into contact with us, one of us made a website. It was me. So the website is emceesofmc.com. That's EMCEES of, and then MC like the letters. It sounded a lot cooler than spelling it out confuses everyone. So it's on the pamphlet. Just get rid of the, and you're all set.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, and you mentioned about contact. Yes, for mine, it's at Treetone Productions on Instagram. Probably the easiest way to go about it right now.
Okay, thank you guys.
Wait a minute before you hang up. I am the person who is the youngest here, and I just want to tell you all your every one of your stories, from good to bad, were wonderful. And not only did you do the hip hop thing, which I like, but also you tied it in with jazz, and it kind of flowed, every one of you. I appreciate you so much, and thank you. Thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you very much to all of us. Thank you.
Here's
Yeah.
Grandma.
Before we go, in front of you there is a seat, and you can pull out a form, and there is a barcode on it. Can you show it? Yes. Can you please scan that while you are sitting here? It's an evaluation form on this program. It is very important for us at Docs and Progress, for our funders, that we tell them about our impact. And that is coming through these evaluation forms. So please take a minute and thank you very much for coming. And a round of applause for these young, talented people.